Al-Kalum, Chapter 1, Tablet 6, The Origin of the Moon. Lo, the creation of the planet we call the moon today. You may ask, why are you calling the moon a planet? That is because that's exactly what it is. Let's see. The word planet means a non-luminous celestial body larger than an asteroid or a comet, illuminated by light from a star, such as the sun, around which it revolves. From the Middle English, from Old French, planete, from late Latin, planeta, from Greek, planetes, variant of planes, planet, from planashtai, meaning to wander. You shall see how the moon did just that, wandered off into space to become what is called the moon today, or the month. It came about because of the Maldikian fighter ship from the Ninga fleet called the South Wind. The South Wind came crashing down into the planet Tiamat with plutonium, a highly explosive weapon. The word moon comes from the word monos, who was the Greek deity of sarcasm and of pain for the hurt that Lunar felt, because he wanted rule of all the stars of the heaven and earth. And his sarcasm in dealing with the denier, Lunar brought his plea before as to his wish to rule the sun, moon, and all the stars, and was voted down by the Igigi. In his rejection, because of his sarcasm, he became a deity amongst the Euro-Americans, who are some descendants of the Greeks and Romans. They will tell you that this name originated with them. However, the name Moon was adopted from the ancient Egyptian deity Mantu, the deity of Thebes, who fell into disfavor with the mortal due to royal politicking during the 11th dynasty. He was a lunar deity, where the Greeks stole their concept from. The planet Earth, Ki, was known then as Tiamat. This explosion created what is called today the Grand Canyon, and given birth to another small planet in its own orbit, rotating around this newly formed planet Ki. This newly formed planet was named Shiski, meaning celestial deity who protects Earth, Ki, now called the Moon, which created a lunar orbit around the planet Ki. It's now 283,900 miles from Earth. The Moon is now an oblique piece of the planet Earth. So with most of the waters dried on the Moon, because its waters are on Earth, she keeps pulling on the waters of this planet. The Moon was not blasted enough to make a complete turn by itself while rotating around the planet Earth. Therefore, you never see the other side before it is again entering into the shaded side of the planet Earth. There is a base called Moon Base 12 up there. You just can't see it, and they don't want you to know about it. Humans are living in domed homes, and there are big laboratories for mining on the moon. So you have the evening tides pulling on the waters of the planet Earth. Without this process of the water, all the vegetation would die. Those that live on the planet Shiski would also die. Shiski was first covered with life and vegetation just like Earth today. For instance, there are even certain radioactive elements found deep in the Earth. They are found in the crust of the Moon. And this, once being a thought of an irreality, has now been confirmed by scientists on March 5th, 1998, and there is ice on the Moon. There are pockets of ice crystals that have been found beneath the lunar surface by a robot survey spacecraft. The Lunar Prospector's neutron spectrometer sent back data indicating the presence of significant amounts of hydrogen distributed in the loose lunar soil at the bottom of the polar craters. The ice was found in Lunar's south pole as well as in the craters of the North Pole. All life died on Shisky because of the explosion of a warship that came from the planet Meldeck and got caught in the gravitational pull of Nibiru and crashed into the planet Tiamat and caused the breaking away of a moon called Shisky. The female's menstrual cycle is approximately a 29.5-day cycle, which coincides with the 4 phases of the moon, making her symbol the square, while the male symbol, being the sun, is a circle. The 4 quarters start from full to 3/4, or from 3/4 to 1/2, or 1/2 to full moon again. A secret name of the moon is Halal, meaning the crescent, a symbol of Dina, or Dinah, who is called Sin, symbol of Baphomet and French Mahomet for Mohammedans, the 5-pointed interlocking inverted stars. The movement of the moon, each cycle 12 in each year, and is 3 sets of 4 phases, and is the symbol of the 5 P's, which are the roots of their laws: polytheism, politics, psychology, philosophy, and penal. This moon, called Shisky or Qamar by the Mohammedans, is 2,160 miles, or about 1/3 the size of the planet Earth, which is 7,926 miles, and is composed basically of the same minerals that have been analyzed from rocks brought back from the moon and then compared to those on the planet Earth. The moon still has erupting volcanoes on it. The bases have been discovered on the moon to date. They were reactivated and are being used to mine moon minerals. Moon data: diameter equal 2,160 miles. Distance from Tiamat equal 238,900 miles. The moon makes one complete orbit around Tiamat every 27.33 Earth days. It spins on its own axis 27.33 Earth days. Some say every 27.32 days. The moon consists of 4 quarters: first quarter, new moon; last quarter, full moon. It is divided by 2 crescents and 2 gibbous stages called phases. El Gadush Garun, the Holy Quran, speaks clearly of the splitting away of Al-Qamar, the moon, from El-Ard, the earth. It says in the 37th degree that has been changed to the 54th degree, verse 1 and 2. The hour is coming close, and the moon is split asunder. And if they see a sign, they turn away, and they say, it is but a form of magic. The true Muslims are to have faith according to one of their own, al-Bazawi. When those in doubt asked Muhammad for a sign, the moon appeared split in 2. It is believed by them also that the last day will be noted by the moon's eclipse, and they are to prostrate twice. This is written in the 31st degree that has been changed to the 75th degree, verse 8 through 10. And the moon is eclipsed, and the sun and the moon are gathered together. These days you see the sun and the moon out together in midday. The Enosite shall say on that day, where is the place to escape? Muhammad in El's Holy Qarun swears by it 3 times, once in the 4th degree that has been changed to the 74th degree, verse 32 through 39. Nevertheless, in the moon and the shadow hour period when it passes, and the early daytime hour when it appears, surely hell is one of the biggest calamities. A warning to the mortals in skin, to those of you who will, to go forward progress in agreeableness, follow the rights of Abram, or Ibrahim, or remain behind. Stay in disagreeableness. Follow rights other than Abram's right. Every nafs, spirit, person, is held in pledge for that which has earned, except for the companions of the right hand, the true Muslim, peaceful ones, and their seed, the Halil Ba'at. The true Muslims, peaceful ones, and their seed, the Halil Ba'at, that is the Ansarullah, the only Muslims who strive for pristine purity. Again, Muhammad swears in the 83rd degree, which was changed to the 84th degree, verse 16 through 19. So nevertheless, I swear by the red glow of the sun when it darkens, and the shadow hour period, and what it gathers together shrouds, and the moon when it becomes full, that you shall most certainly pass from plane to plane, life after death. And the 26th degree, now changed to the 91st verse, 1 through 10 says, and the sun and its radiance, and the moon when it follows after it, and the daytime, afternoon, when it is brightened by it, and by the shadow hour period, when it screens it, and the sky, and what builded it, and the planet Earth, and what landscaped it, and the spirit person, and what perfected it. So he, not we, inspired it, the spirit to overstand its wickedness and its trembling at the mention. He who purifies it, his spirit, has certainly become prosperous, and certainly he who buries it, his spirit, has certainly failed. The crescent moons hold such great meaning to them that it is their symbol. The story of Lunar. The moon as you know it today is in its latter state. It was once a part of an enormous planet, Tiamat, 24 billion years ago, before it broke off 11 billion years ago. And before that, it belonged to an even greater planet called Tiamat. Before the planet Tiamat was blown away by a crazy scientist by the name of Lunar in an attempt to rule the whole planet. Lunar's attempt to explode the whole planet Tiamat caused the breaking away of a moon called Kingu, or lunar, meaning great and missionary, which happened 66 billion years ago. He placed a bomb called ballast, which was made from plutonium that came from his original home in Pluto, and placed in it Shambhala, which was then called Ishara. Plutonium's name was derived from the planet Pluto. It is a radioactive chemical element and bears the symbol Pu. Its atomic number is 94 and its atomic weight is 239.13. Plutonium is one of the main elements used in nuclear weapons. In the center of planet Earth is a long 30-mile tube due to the plutonium bomb. When Kingu, the moon, broke away, Lunar himself was on that part. Lunar wanted to rule the sun, moon, and all the stars. He only ruled the lower half of the planet Tiamat that you call Earth today, equal in power with the ruler of the upper half. However, he wanted to rule the whole planet. He brought his request before the Council of Deniers and was rejected by the Igigi because of his sarcasm, which is why he became known as Monos, deity of sarcasm and pain. His rejection angered him, and he decided to blow up the planet Tiamat. Lunar is an old deity who was disagreeable and ruled the planet Kingu before it died and its water dried up due to it being thrown off into its own orbit by Nibiru. He was the deity of the moon. Kingu, also called Lunar, and his intentions were evil. Lunar lived and ruled Kingu 66 billion years ago after it broke away from Tiamat, the original Earth, which came with the original creation of this solar system that exploded from the Milky Way. The Milky Way was formed from a massive sun called Sol, collapsing and exploding outward. Then the Milky Way exploded again and gave birth to our present-day sun called Shamash, or Helios, which is 93 billion years old. Before this sun called Shamash became a ball of gas containing hydrogen and helium, it was an active planet called Om, containing all the planets, moons, and satellites which make up this solar system. The sun was one tremendous mass, a planet called Om. The solar system was one of 19 planets that surrounded a more massive sun called Sol. Sol was named after its original ruler, Sol or Sol, whose wife was named Arena. Their combined rulership gives you the name Sol Arena or Sol Arena, shortened to Solar or simply Solar. The massive sun Sol collapsed and exploded outward, and Om got caught in the gravitational pull of Sol, and it exploded and gave birth to your sun, Shamash. All 19 of the planets were hurled off into space and exploded to create 19 galaxies in space and beyond. Galaxies are recorded as population 1, population 2, population 3, and population 4, and on. Population 1 galaxy are based on their age, are from hundreds of thousands of years old to 25 billion years old. Population 2 is from 25 billion years old to 100 billion years old, and population 3 from 1 trillion to 25 trillion. Population 4 is from 25 trillion to 100 trillion and on. The Milky Way, from the Latin via way and lati milky, which is the 18th galaxy, taking its name from the Greek sea nymph. Galaxy, from the Middle English galaxy, the Milky Way, from late Latin galaxus, from Greek milky, from galak, meaning milk. This Milky Way galaxy exploded again to create the present solar system. The new heaven and new earth will reveal a second and third sun. Yet, at this point, you have one sun called Shamash, or Helios, and 10 planets called Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Titan, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto, and on the outside of the 11th planet being Meldek, and also Planet X, another name for the 12th planet. When you include the sun and the moon as planets, it becomes Nibiru. This was the making of the 18th galaxy ruled by the signs of the zodiac called solar biology. This all took place 76 trillion years ago. It's called the birth of the universe from triple darkness. Lunar wanted to rule the whole universe, so he used over 30 million tons of atomic energy to blow up Tiamat, thinking that it would shift the orbit of the planets and cause a planetary collapse or star holocaust. He was originally a humanoid-type Meldeki from Gaga, Pluto, who lived on Tiamat after they had crashed down, and he tried to rule all beings on Earth. The Meldekians and their slaves, the troglodytes, also known as Masmukia, have been using the vast seas of the planet Earth for billions of years as a home base under the Bermuda Triangle, also called the Angel Triangle. Lunar was originally called Gaga, which was later called Pluto or Plutone, a planet that was also occupied by the Meldekians or troglodytes, as well as the Hindus who resided on Pluto after they left their planet Nirvana and mixed with the Meldekians, of which Lunar was a product of. These beings also lived on the planets like Titan, Europa, and Earth that are in this Milky Way galaxy. Also, other planets such as the bright star Betelgeuse and Rigel, and many others, all a part of the 6-star constellation Orion, called Uranus and Kizil, which is held up by the Sirius star constellation. A star in the constellation Canis Major, the brightest star in the sky, approximately 8.6 light years distance from Earth, also called the dog star, Sothis, from Latin Sirius, from Greek Sirius, from Sirius, burning. Canis Major and Canis Minor are the two dogs of Orion, the hunter, a nearby constellation containing the stars Betelgeuse, with which Sirius and Procyon together form an equilateral triangle. The Orion is a constellation located on the celestial equator east of Taurus. It is oblong configuration with three stars in line near its center in the Orion's belt called the nebula. It is represented on pictorial charts as the figure of Orion. It was called Sahu, the soul of Osiris. Three bright stars represents his belt, Al-Nilam and Minotaur. This is the home of the agreeable Anunnaki or Elohim and the disagreeable four winds, which make up Betelgeuse, Bellatrix, and Rigel, and four Saths, under the watchful eye of Set, also called Sirius or Sothis, where Nibiru took residence. There is also three fainter stars aligned south of the belt. Alpha Orionis or Betelgeuse is located in the left corner of the oblong, which corresponds to Orion's shoulder. Beta Orionis or Rigel is diagonally opposite Betelgeuse. A nebula surrounding the three stars marking Orion's sword is one of the most conspicuous bright nebulas in the heavens. Lunar's daughter was also called Lunar, and his wife was called Hyperon. Lunar also had a daughter named Persephone, and she married Pluto, also known as Hades, a son of Kronos and Rhea, ruler of the underworld. Rhea was from Uranus, which was the name of the ruler of that planet, and his wife Gaia, mother of Poseidon. Gaia was ruler in Titan, where there were great Cyclops, which are of any race of one-eyed giant who reputedly descended from Titan, inhabited the island of Sicily. From the Latin, from Greek, kulos, meaning circle eye. There were also Furies, which are the three terrible winged goddesses with serpentine hair, Alecto, Megara, and Tisiphone, who pursue and punish doers of unavenged crimes. From the Middle English fury, from Old French, from Latin furia, from furere, meaning to rage. And also there were giants, meaning a person or thing of great size. From the Middle English, from Old French giant, from Vulgar Latin gagas, giant, from Latin gaga, from Greek gigas. These were the rulers in this solar system after and before the crash of Nibiru's wind into Tiamat. Yes, there were giants in the earth before Cadman, Adam, the Zamzumims, meaning plotters, the Emims, meaning terrors, Philistines, meaning immigrants, and Rephaims, meaning healers. With the wind ship of the Meldekians, also known as the Vulcans, when trillions were billions, and billions were millions, and millions were thousands. This is in accordance to the motion of your planet around Apsu, the sun, and how far your planet was from it. So the moon, as a satellite of the planet Earth, has three birth date records. 11 billion, it breaks off from the planet Tiamat Earth. 24 billion, the recreation of the planet Earth. And 76 trillion, the original creation of the entire universe. Just as the conception of a mortal goes through three phases of birth, that which is declared the moon today had went through three separate periods in its path to becoming what it is.